Yeah, good morning. Good to see everyone. Thrilled to still be coaching this week. I think is probably the feeling that I have. A lot of gratitude just to be in the gym with our guys. Had our last guaranteed practice today in the PAV. Getting ready to head to the airport here in a few minutes. And yeah, quick turnaround, heading out to Pittsburgh to play one of the best teams and programs in the country the last 5 years. And just looking forward to seeing our team in that moment. We talk about a lot. The tournament is a space where you can change your life, both for a team and for individuals. And so I'm excited for these guys to be in that moment and to play a great opponent and to see what they become in that process. So looking forward to getting out there, hopefully no weather delays, and get rolling with our crew.
You guys hit well over 300 against Iowa State, a ranked opponent, just the second time all season you guys done that. Just what does that say about the level and kind of the performance you guys were on kind of a big stage in this part of the season?
Yeah, attack efficiency was one of the things that was one of our major goals for the past year since the last season ended. Just knowing that we need to be able to side out on our own accord. We were known a little bit more as a serving and defensive team last year, and we needed to become more offensively. And part of that was in serve receive, and part of that was just in attacking. And I think one of the things that's impressed me so much is just that a group this young can attack so clean, right? You don't hit for high efficiencies if you hit the ball out of bounds a lot. And August and September and October weren't that fun for these young guys, right? Hearing their coach tell them to hit the ball in a lot as if that's some sort of brilliant strategy. But it just is when you're young. You have to learn how to make teams play. And I'm really impressed that these guys have really been doing that all season. And it allows us to have nights like that we had against Iowa State where we do hit for a high hitting efficiency.
Can you talk about the journey you guys have been on this year? Because you've had to lean into your younger players to get to this point.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't part of the plan. Make a 3-year plan, and nothing sort of went to plan pretty quickly on. But one thing we talk about is that principles are more important than plans, right? And it's amazing what you can become when you have to. And I think one of the things that it's become a silver lining for this team, especially for these young athletes like Jordan and Kelly here, is you just got to learn. There's no choice. Your coach isn't subbing you out, and they're not giving you a break. And there were lots of hard nights, UCLA, Oregon. There's lots of hard nights, Wisconsin, where you got to learn the hard way. And I am impressed by their persistence and their resilience and their willingness to show up each day. Again, not that anyone had a choice, but I think it's a big part in life. Sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is be put in a situation where you just have to stay in it. And I think they've done an incredible job of that.
Jordan, what stands out to you about how you transition to college volleyball?
I don't know. I think I would just say, I don't know, there's a lot. Probably just how straightforward everything is. Everything's pretty cut and dry, especially in the situation we're in where, there isn't, another option for somebody else to go in or something else to happen. It's kind of either you do it or you don't. And probably that stands out a lot to me, and I think it's going to help me, down the road. So, yeah.
Kelly, what was your transition like, and what point did you feel like, okay, I can handle this level?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot about myself when I got to college. I came from obviously playing at a pretty high level in high school and club, but that does not prepare you for college at all. And I think that this team has done a really good job of keeping the energy up in practice and just making it a game-like scenario. And, as a freshman in the Big Ten, it's a really big responsibility for you to, carry for your team. And the first half of the season was pretty rough for me personally. But I think that as soon as I kind of tapped into the side of me that kind of just figures it out in the game, and, the athlete that I was before coming into college, I felt more comfortable. And I think that's when I learned a lot about myself and, how resilient I can be if I really wanted to.
When you say tough, did you have to kind of slow the game down a little bit, or was it something different than that?
I just think the mental side of the game was really tough for me, and it took a long time for me to figure it out, but when I did, it just was better from there, I think.
For both Kelly and Jordan, how do you kind of switch the competitive mentality going from having home court advantage to having to play against the best team in the country on their home turf?
I kind of just think, being a freshman, especially, in the Big Ten, and, volleyball is just kind of on such a big stage right now. It's just, I just go out there and obviously I want to go out there and compete and have fun and just be with my girls. I think it doesn't really matter where we are. I feel like we're going to go out and just do our best and play as hard as we can. So obviously the PAV is like one of the best places to play, in my opinion, but I feel like we just, no matter where we are, we're going to give it everything we have. So.
Yeah, I think that I've come to realize about the team in the last month or two is even when, like me personally, when I'm not having a good game, like I'm still contributing in some type of way. And I think that's something really special that I can say about anyone on the team. And before the Iowa State match, I kind of looked at everyone and I was like, I have such confidence in all of you guys to win this game. And I think that's really special to have that bond with our teammates. But, like, I just think, for me personally, like, a gym is a gym. I obviously love playing at the PAV, but I love playing on the road, too. And we have fans wherever we go, so I know we have such a good support system on and off the court.
Keegan, when you face a player of Babcock's quality, just what kind of threat does she pose, and how do you kind of prepare for that?
Yeah, player that we have a ton of respect for. I've had the opportunity to coach her, in her younger years, with the USA program, and she's certainly a much different player from that when I remember her, but always determined. We've tried to prepare for it every way that you can. But I think the best piece of advice we got today was from Julie Hansen, which was, we've gotten to play against some of the best players in the country. We played against Kennedy Martin. She had quite a bit of success against us, and yet we still won the match. So I think you have to keep things in the big picture, right? You want to do a good job in everything that you can control, and you want to make sure that you remember that the goal is to win 3 sets by 2, right? And you may not be able to stop the best players in the country the entire match, but you can win the right points, and you can make sure that you do a good job on everyone else that's around her. But the preparation is pretty similar as it is when we play other great players in the Big Ten. But I'm excited for the opportunity for us to test ourselves.
Do you have a preference playing the first match of a doubleheader? Does it matter to you at all?
Just not really a situational guy, to be honest. I'm just excited for us to get in that environment. Again, it's important to me. It was important for me just to make it to the second weekend, for our young team to feel the energy and to see a quality opponent. This is where we want to go. Pitt's been where we want to be. And I love that they're the team that we get to play. And I love that we get to feel their intensity and for us to feel the urgency of being in a regional final and a regional semifinal. And I wanted that experience for these guys for what it's going to do to them during the match and in the years that follow. So I don't care what time we play. Yeah, I don't love the noon match. So I'm happy with us playing in the evening.
How much can that attacking efficiency that you guys had this past weekend help you with confidence going up against one of the best blocks in the nation?
Yeah, I don't know. We always just say you're either applying pressure or you're feeling pressure, right? And so they've got a great block. We've been working on coverage most of the week. And that's going to be a big part of being successful is staying in long rallies. We've been able to block a few balls as well, and so it's important for us to put up a presence for them. I think we do a good job of attacking high and hard, and I think you're going to see 2 physical teams going at it.
Jordan and Kelly, what is your mindset like going into this next game? How do you feel after this weekend and playing that and kind of building off of that and going into this next round?
I would say I'm just really grateful to be where we are. I know not a lot of teams this is the Sweet 16. People don't just make it by chance. So I'm really proud of us, and I know we deserve to be here, just this team. And I just really believe that we're gonna go out there and give it everything we have, and we'll just see what happens. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I couldn't ask for anything more with this team. I feel like we've been through so much together, and with all this adversity we faced this season, I am so proud that we've made it this far, and for our first tournament, this is pretty crazy to go this far. But I mean, going into this game, I go into it like any other game, kind of just swinging for everything and just not playing afraid, because this could be my last game. I could have more games, and I just want to leave it out on the court. And I just want to be a really good teammate too, to everyone, because we've all worked really hard to get to this point. We all deserve to be here.
Jordan, we kind of talked about your kind of transition into college volleyball, but how cool is it to have a moment like that at the end of the match? You get the solo block to kind of end it.
Those are always fun. You work really hard, and I mean it's fun to it's always fun to be out there, but then it's always fun to block a ball too. It's probably my favorite part, so it's cool.
Keegan, do you know Dan Fisher at all, or what's he like as a coach?
Yeah, total jerk. No, I know him well. I'd consider him and his associate coach, Calvin Patron, good friends. And, yeah, we had some battles, over the years, right? I saw them build that program over the last decade. We had a big match, in the Final Four in the spring of 2021. Just a ton of respect for them. We talk often, not recently, but we talk often about navigating and being great for our players and building programs. So, yeah, no one else you'd rather play than someone that you know and respect. And I know that their team is going to be prepared. And so, yeah, excited to see them.
Keegan Sell said last week she feels like you would believe in this group if it was 2 versus 6. I'm curious, where does that belief come from, and what's the key to instilling that into your players where they feel that?
I mean, it better be truth, I think is the first part. You can't kid a kid. They know whether you believe them or not. And but I don't know, we didn't have a short window to decide, who your guys are going to be, right, when you're recruiting, right? We recruited this class back when we first got here in 2023, and then you got to wait 2 years for them to get here. And so you better pick the people that you believe in, and you better go big on it. And yeah, they were big decisions, and if I had known that all 5 of them would be playing, I would have, spent a few more hours watching film on the court. But yeah, I was confident in who they are and who they're going to become. And thrilled to start this journey with them this early, even if it wasn't in the original plans. But yeah, you don't get to pick that many players to coach, and so you better pick wisely. And I think we did.
Are there any other keys that you touch on just with this match that we haven't maybe hinted at yet?
Mentality is big, I think in terms of just the actual volleyball being played, we can create problems for people, and we have confidence and we can do it on the road or in person. The mentality is going to be important, right? We know how assertive and aggressive they are. We know how badly they want to get back to the Final Four, and that's an urgency that's hard to create in the practice gym. So we've got to feel it in the moments leading up to the match. When the first whistle blows, we have to grab onto it and join in that mentality. It's the only way you can play when you're in the regional final is completely all out. And so, yeah, it's important for us to match that mentality early and not let things get rolling downhill, with their offense in particular. So just looking for us to be assertive, from the very first whistle is probably the most important non-tactical key. The rest of it, the game plan, how things match up, I think those things, will lead to a good match, but we have to meet their mentality for sure.
Anything more for Coach or student athletes? All right, we're good to go.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.